So yesterday I got this outlined and then pretty much set in, which is giving me the level of what I'm going to do in terms of carving the face. And now I'm going to work over here and get this and then move down to these if at all possible. And I'll switch back and forth between the different kind of video recording and see what we get. So setting in is then using, where is my, So you go around the lines that are drawn here, and you need to get a right sweep, sweep being the curve of the chisel, and we're going around his collar. And then if you notice, it has a deeper curve there, so then we switch to one that matches up. And most often that's going from a number 3 to a number 5. And this drops down. So since I have the number 5 out, I'm going to go ahead and go around the ears here. That's even smaller. So, okay. In this instance, there's lots of jagged edges that depict the afro curly hair that go around the head. But what I'm going to do is just go around in a big circle, and then after that I'll cut those fine lines that give the different variations to the hairline and head to go around, and that should help in terms of imagery. Okay, since that worked over there, I'm going to go ahead and let it do the same thing here. Very often icons over-exaggerate the ears. And the reason they do that is because in venerating the saints and those depicted by the icon, they want to be able to hear our petitions and our prayers to them to intercede for us with God the Father. Okay, so I'm going to go this is one of the reasons why I tend to have a large selection of tools is so that I can then fit around the various curvatures that are depicted in each of the images. And so you can see I'm just kind of going around in a outlining method, and I'll go in and put the details in later, as I already mentioned. So my wife Jane downstairs, I was talking to her last night, and I was saying that this is the part or the level that I'm working on. And she kind of smiled and said, yeah, I can hear you pounding. Don't worry. So it's kind of like she knows where I am. Okay, so yesterday we outlined that, set it in. Now we've gone on the inside of this, outlined here. All of this is still yet to be carved, but I'm going to set this just like I set that over here. And so you can go along the edge with a smaller tool, smaller number 5, and just get it to pop. So see how it pops? And going around here. You can see on the short end, so I get to the top and I'm like, all the way up at the top. My range of motion there. You can see a little bit difference of the different woods that I had in here. So here's one piece and then here's another piece, and you can see how the different grains actually of the different pieces of wood are reacting. And then that's one of the reasons why I don't ever use a router, because I have no idea. I don't get the feel of the wood if you use a router. Okay, so you pretty much have gotten the idea of what I'm going to do. And I'll go back in here and re-outline this. You can see the top part is starting to come off, and sometimes you'd worry about that if that had to be a high point, but the head's going to curve down, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to switch to the speed up mode. But kicking my camera legs around. Okay. So I completed this one yesterday. Now got this one. Left a lot more along the ears here. They're not as large as these earlobes, and so I need to leave the space there so that then they don't chip off, and then I have problems with carving that. Gonna move down to these saints, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and carve this all the way in here, even though it's going to be covered up, but that way I keep the same angle nice and even there. And it looks like I have to do some additional drawing on St. Francis' head here, and then work on Elizabeth Ann Seton. So I'm going to put that video kind of on hold as I kind of get going on this. It's much the same process as you saw up there. It's going to be done down here, and then I'll pick up after I've gotten those done.